Well, hello everybody, Bart and Alex here. Today is beginning of April and we finally got the missing parts for the Polski Fiat. And what we were waiting for is the set of piston rings, because I broke one, as you remember from the last episode. Alex is on spring break, so perfect time to help get this thing buttoned up. And our goal, we have a very ambitious goal for today. The goal is to put the whole thing back into the car and even test drive it. So far, knock on wood, everything's going well. The most difficult part, I think, which is installing the piston rings into the piston, is completed. I've gotten smarter and I did buy the proper tools. This is the ring expander and this is the piston ring compressor. So didn't break anything this time. I did have the head nicely cleaned and polished. Look at that. So the head is good to go. And let's see what else we have done. And the transmission is ready to go. The other day sorry for the mess here. I need to sweep this. I've got the transmission, all the seals, half shaft seals, cover seals, even got this little thing so that basically the transmission is ready to bolt into the car. It's all lubed and ready to go. So I think our goal is very realistic, because unless we break anything, something, then it should be good to go. So stay tuned. Okay, we've installed the cylinders. We have put a new oil pan gasket, and we installed the oil pan. And now, or you can already see the head gasket is on. And now we're just going to install the push rods, new covers, new seals. Well, the covers are not new, I repainted them. Push rods, and we'll install the head. Head is cleaned, degreased, pristine, ready to go also. Okay, we've got the engine, for the most part, all buttoned up. All the gaskets been installed, torque with a torque wrench. Valve cover gasket also has been installed, and the valve lash for intake and exhaust valves been set to correct specifications. Yeah, the shrouding and everything's been put together. So now is the fun part. We're gonna try to attach it to the transmission. And see. Yeah, and then once we get it attached to the transmission, we'll put the exhaust system on and we'll put it in the car. Or maybe I won't even put the exhaust on there. We'll see. See how it looks. But it's getting close now. Unfortunately, that's the most difficult part from the standpoint of just getting everything aligned, and obviously you're going to be working with something that's very heavy. So with Alex here, I'm pretty sure we'll do all right. I yanked it out by myself for the most part, so with Alex here, I'm sure we'll be fine putting it back in. Stay tuned. Hello everybody, Bart here. Yes, today is the happy day. The Polski Fiat 126 is back together. The project is completed with no remaining parts, which is always a good thing. And it's running really well. I'll start it in a minute so you can hear. But it took Alex and I a day and a half. The half is due to my fault putting it back together. Really, from the time we got the piston rings to the time we had the engine back in the car, it took us about a few hours, taking our time. So I'll walk you through the parts that we replaced here in a second. But yeah, the car is back together. Here's the proof. The engine's in the back. I'll start it in a moment. What have we done on this car? So first of all, the main goal of the project was to stop all of the oil leaks. And so far, I can tell you that that this has been accomplished successfully, because I don't see any leaks. So the transmission has been sealed up and the engine has been sealed up. And I only have a few remaining seals that I did not end up using. These are the piston rings that we replaced, original nice Fiat piston rings. And here are some some seals that are left over. This is for the steering rack, so we obviously haven't touched that. There's no leaks, so I'm not gonna mess with that right now. Few seals that have been left over. This is from the front timing cover. The timing cover wasn't leaking, so I elected not to do this. I can always do that later. Don't have to take the engine out to do that. This is a front main seal, again not leaking, and then a few transmission gaskets that either I already had secondary ones, like this one is a half shaft seals which we replaced because I had the boots to go with them, or they're just doubles. As you can see, there's not a heck of a lot of parts left over, so majority of the gaskets have been replaced. We've also rebuilt the carburetor, or cleaned and replaced all of the gaskets on the car, and like I said, majority of the engine gaskets have been changed. The one thing that I shouldn't have done, as you can see, painted these exhaust manifolds. The paint is just flaking off them, so eventually it'll come off and they'll be rusty like they were in the beginning. And I apologize, it's a little dark here. Maybe I'll put my head camera so you can see better. But this was really the only thing that I wasted time on and I shouldn't have done. The muffler is nice, and the paint on the muffler is nice and silvery, but the engine, but these exhaust manifolds really, sorry, there you go, really shouldn't have been painted because it just defeats the purpose. But yeah, underneath it, let's see if I can get the, see the muffler is nice and shiny. The transmissions, I'm sorry, the oil pan has been painted, so the paint holds on majority of the components except for the exhaust. No big deal. All right, well, let's get her started and see how she sounds. Again, new piston ring, so the engine is being basically broken in, so driving it pretty carefully and taking our time breaking it in. But for the most part, Alex will have as new as a car as you can get it without buying a new one, which obviously you cannot get it these days. So yeah, let's get inside, get her started, and you guys will see. Now this car has 59,569 kilometers. So choke, put choke in, whoops, put choke up, and there you go. And let's get that going. Okay, neutral, choke is up. How about that? Can't beat it. So yeah, the car's running really well. Been driving it for about 25 miles already or so, and hopefully we won't have to mess with it too much more and we're just gonna enjoy it. Thank you for watching.